If someone asked if I had siblings, I would say that I had a brother, but I lost him several years back, and that was it. And then that way it didn't have to come up. Hate's a strong word. He made me sick, and I wish he weren't related to me, but really I just blocked him out. Scotty Parrish came to talk to us, and I'm really thinking I'm having a really amazing relationship with God. I'm really feeling I've got a long way to go, but I'm feeling like, we're tight. This is really awesome. And Scotty wants to share about Kairos. He just had a nice, gentle way of talking about his prison ministry. I remember him saying to me later on, we could use you. I'd like to, would you be interested in participating a little more? And finally I just said, Scotty, I'm not going to do it. I've got a brother in there on the inside, and I can't deal with it. So don't ask me anymore. You get the cookies, you get the meals, but leave it, just leave it. And he just extended great courtesy in saying, sort of like, I love you, sister, and I understand, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for where you're hurting her. But he said things that just kept coming back. And then I realized that it was worthless. It was meaningless. I didn't have any relationship with God because I couldn't get next to God because I hadn't forgiven my own brother. That's what we're called to forgive. And as long as it's there, you can tell yourself that you and God are great and you're growing, but you're lying to yourself. And when I saw him come through the door, I recognized him, but it didn't look like him. He had a little boy look to his face. It just, all the meanness was gone. And we sat and we visited, and then we walked. That's what you do in the wintertime, since you can't go outside. You walk the room and talked, and he became a Christian, not jailhouse religion, but he had gotten a good relationship with God 12 years earlier. So all this time that I'm still, and he sent me letters to tell me that, but I didn't read them. We were there and we were just two believers and we were a brother and sister, and all that other horribleness was not in our little space. But I knew as soon as I let go of him that they would take him, and he would go through strip down and he would be, taken. I didn't want to leave all those years. And I walked him up as far as I could before they would take him. And I remember I literally thought they would have to pull me off of him. But I just remember whispering and saying, just forgive me. And he sent me a note, and he called after that and said, in all these years, you are the first person that has ever asked my forgiveness. We can always say, I need to forgive. I need to forgive. I know that's right. But really doing it and really giving it up and saying, it's yours, it's out of here. It was done when I left that building. When I let go of him, it was all gone. It took the stuff out of the way to keep me from moving forward.
Yeah. The hardest thing about forgiveness.
If you ask me if I think he should be out, it's between he and God. and the courts. All I'm called to do is to love him and forgive him. Of course, I would not choose to be a rape victim. I was. That's life. But because of that, I became a good counselor. So that thing that happened, that God didn't make happen to me, but that happened in my life, was used for good on down the road. My brother, I know lives are wrecked, and I can't go there. Had he not been put in prison, and to be such a scum, and let me tell you, there are two people they don't like in there, and that's child molesters and rapists. And he has survived and earned respect. I mean, people come up to me almost every time. I had a woman come up and say, "You're John's sister. You don't know me. I'm Scotty's mom," and he's a lifer. But he came to know Christ because of your brother. I talk to my brother once or twice a week, and we have great share time, which is amazing that I am getting fed by a rapist that's in a prison calling me, through one of those prepaid calls. And but he does help me understand that I'm not in control here.